Welcome to my channel. My name is Natasha and this is episode 56, and you are going to be watching this on the 21st of October, and today is Saturday and I am filming it ready so that you can watch it freshly whilst I am at work. So what have I been up to this week? I have done loads. I say I've done loads. I've worked quite hard and produced a few things, but I've also been quite stressed out, as I touched upon in my Free Pattern Friday video. I don't really want to harp on about it, but the thing being is that menopause has taken a grip of me, and I've been not sleeping and been really tired. My bones have been hurting and just really exhausted. And what with the stresses of my work, it's just not really gone down very well. As you can imagine, I don't know whether it's a good thing or not sleeping, because obviously if I am not sleeping then I'm kind of trying to get things done. So it's good in a way, but also not in others, as you can imagine. But like I say, I don't really want to keep harping on about it, but I have now been 2 years post hysterectomy, and I'm using patches for my menopause, but I was already on patches way before my hysterectomy was going to be a thing, and I've been having symptoms since I was 37 and I am now 45. So these things, isn't it, it's swings and roundabouts, and I've only been on the patches for maybe 3 years now, but they've upped them since my hysterectomy, so that I always had a little bit of it in my system, ready for the onslaught of actually having the hysterectomy, so I didn't just bash into it really quite abruptly and suffer the symptoms. But for the last 2 weeks now, I have found life really difficult, and it's been a nightmare living with me, a lot more so than usual, as my husband would say. And I have really struggled. So basically I'm putting it out there that, you know, there are lots of people out there, aren't there? And I just thought I would highlight the fact that even though we do these things and it seems like life is going swimmingly, it really isn't, and really doesn't sometimes. So I've really got to kind of, I am sort of aware of it, but the things I've been experiencing, I don't know, you never know whether you are actually poorly or whether it is the symptoms of that, and that's what I'm struggling with. But I've been really dizzy and really not very, I've been absolutely forgetful. Like the video for Free Pattern Friday, usually I'm on the ball and I've got everything's scheduled and everything's fine. I got to Thursday night, I was on a call with Sally from Nanny Moon's Crochet. Hi Sally. And she said, oh, I've got to do my video tomorrow. So I said, oh, that'd be nice. It was nice to have an extra one. It didn't even dawn on me that it was Thursday night and it was going to be Friday the next morning. I hadn't even done it. So we said goodbye, ready for myself to go to bed, and then I hadn't done it. So I thought, well, there's nothing for it but to leave a message in the community post to say that it will be late. So as much as I have apologised profusely on that video for being late, I am really and truly sorry for being late. But I suppose it is one of those things. But I just wanted to raise awareness really of the fact that all these symptoms that can be just mistaken for illness, you know, I've been living with for quite some time, and it just makes me think, well, I can't be ill all this time, so it must have just upped a notch, which means I'm going to have to go back to the doctors and say I think I need some higher patches or something to be able to cope, because the night sweats and things are really starting to aggravate me. Anyway, less of that. I've had a moan, and now let's get into what my week has been like. And I have done my general weekly things. I've got my 3D squares to show you in a while. I've made the donut for Sally's Cal that she's got going on her channel. I've got an update on the honeycomb hive. I've done a small amount on the tank top, which I'll show you because I'm not impressed with what I've done, but I will get into that when I've shown you it. And I've also got a finished object to show you. So first of all, I am going to show you the progress on, I've got some stuff written down, that's why I'm looking down. I'm going to show you what I did with the tank top to start with, because I wanted to crochet them together because I wanted the effect much like the turtle that I did for the school, where it was slightly raised, and so I've been doing that. I haven't tied in my ends because I don't know if I'm going to take it apart yet, so apart from the fact that you'll have to excuse that, I have started putting them together. Now I don't like, I have to just pull this stuff away now so you can see, I don't like the big holes, and the big holes are from the fact that it the corner were trebles in US terms, and then it was a chain too, but because it was Aran, they're just really, really big, and I don't know whether to leave it like it and just embrace the fact that that is the way the tank top's going to go, or what I can even do about it. And it makes me sad. I just don't know whether that's natural, because I just don't know. I mean, if it was a granny, then of course, you know, you're going to have gaps, and that's fine. But I just don't know whether it's acceptable, considering someone else, you know, it's a commission order really, isn't it? You know, and I just don't know whether that is right or not to do. So I have done this, and I'm just going to sit on it and think about it for a bit, because, you know, like I say, they are really big gaps, and I'm not really sure, even though she's going to use it as like a summer vest type thing, which obviously in winter, but what I mean is, like, she's going to wear it, it's going to go to there, and then I'm going to have the sleeve, the shoulder straps, and then she's going to wear a shirt underneath it, and so I just really don't know whether to undo it and do something different. I don't know how to get past the fact that there is quite gaping great big holes, or whether to embrace the pattern like it. I'm just really not sure, because it does look very holy in some places, and you know, I just feel like it's going to let it down, you know, and so I'm not quite sure how to do it, but at least I've started. So there's that one. As a recap, I have used Starcraft Special Aran for this, in chocolate and watermelon and saffron, and the greeny colour one is not teal, I want to say seagrass or something like that, might be teal, I don't know, I can't remember, and I haven't got the ball band handy, but so yeah, I don't know. If you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comment box below, because I would love to know what you would do if it was you making this, and then obviously just let me know. Hold on just a minute. Sorry about that, I had a sneezing fit, my goodness me. So that is what I've just been playing with this afternoon, trying to decide whether I like it or not. The second thing that I've been working on is the honeycomb hive progress, and I have done 3 of the cells that the bees live in, and clearly I've got the 2 there and the 2 there left to do, and I really love this, and I'm using a 2.75 hook, and I'm really loving it, and I can't wait to do a bit more on it. But that's as far as I've got, obviously, because I've been really busy doing other things, and so it was nice to be able to just get going on something new. So that is the progress on there. Then I have been, oh yes, if you remember, I have been doing this. I've had this bag because Stylecraft was lucky enough to, well, I was fortunate enough for Stylecraft to send me some yarn, because I said that I was interested in the Petite Swell new colours and also the Squeeze Me. And the Petite Swell that I chose was the colourway Cottage Garden, and that's shade number 3783. Although it'll be backwards for you. And I decided that I was going to use it with a Stylecraft pattern, and I decided I was going to make a rabbit. Now obviously it's not going to be these colours because this is using the Wondersoft merry-go-round, but I really liked it. I like the fact that they've got floppy ears and dangly legs. The only thing that I have done differently with this pattern is not done the knee folds, because I didn't want their knees bent, so I haven't done the knee folds, and I've only just kind of done bits and pieces to it. I haven't managed to get loads done, but I'll show you my progress so far. I should have got this out waiting really, because but I forgot. I wrote it down on my page but didn't get the yarn out waiting to show you, which was annoying. So hold on just a moment. Right, so yes, this is the rabbit pattern that I'm using, which is a Stylecraft pattern, and I have completed the legs. Now I love the way that it's working up, although obviously they're going to be different because I'm working my way through the outside of the ball. I love the fact of the little feet, and I love the fact that it kind of goes in quite deep colour variations, with the dark pink, and then going to the light pink, and then into the light green, and then going into the dark green, and then going from dark green to light green to very different, very pale pink, and then going into the lilac. So that is the legs. I always start with the hands, arms and legs, because I really detest doing them, but it's all part of it and you have to do it, don't you? So I'm doing that, and it's used up quite a lot. I've been quite impressed how it's been going, and it's just been working through. And I'm using a 3.25 Susan Bates hook for that one, Susan Bates being my absolute favourite. What else? Oh, and I've started on the arm. Hang on a minute. It's wrapped around the ball band. Come on, come on. And I've made a start. So carrying on from the top of the leg there, I'm still on the lilac and I'm going back into the pink again now on the arm, and then I will carry on doing the other arm. And then I'll probably do the ears, and then I can do the head and the body afterwards. And if there is anything left when I have finished, then I will update you with what I decide that I'm going to use the rest of it for. But that is as far as I've got with the Stylecraft yarn that they sent me. I got halfway through with the Squeeze Me yarns. I've got mixed feelings about it, really. I mean, I don't tend to use yarn like this at all, because of the stitch definition and trying to find, like, struggling to find the stitches if you're working with it. And I did want it originally for the to make a Care Bear, and I did start, but I'm falling out of love with it because of the way it works up. I mean, I love the stitch definition, don't get me wrong, because if you look at that, I do quite like it, and I've shaped the feet and everything all really nicely, and I've done the hands, but a couple of times it's been really hard to try and get it going, and it's basically snapped off, and the it's really quite, like, comes off really easily if you run your nail down. So I'm not really sure on the quality, and I think I'd have to use something that I was sure that I wouldn't need to peel away, you know, if I had to try and undo it, you know, if you make a mistake, that sort of thing. But I have wasted quite a lot, and if you can see in there, it does come off quite you know, quite a lot, and it is quite disappointing. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to make with the rest of it. I think it would have to be something like a cowl or something like that to be able to carry on using it. But it all depends necessarily, like I say, about the stuff that for a pattern that I know that I'm not gonna make a mistake, and I know that it won't need to be kind of undone and messed about with, because it really doesn't like it. So I'm a bit unsure about carrying on with the pattern, and as much as it's a waste, I was quite disappointed, like I say. But I love the softness of it. I love the fact that it's a DK, because a lot of them are chunky, but I have to be honest, and I wanted to review the things, you know, for that I chose for them, just because if everything is fine and dandy all of the time, even though everyone has different perceptions of different yarns and different opinions, you know, I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to portray it as everything's fine when it's actually not. So a lot of other people may well get on with it fine, and that's fine, but it does peel off quite considerably. So I was quite disappointed. So I don't know. The jury's out on that. But the batik, is absolutely lovely. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's really soft and it works up really well. I love the fact that it's got a slight halo on it, and it's just lovely. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. So at least that is one thing. And so that is what I've decided to do with my Stylecraft little gift that they gave. So let me just put that back in the bag so I don't lose it. Make sure that the hook is still there. Yes, that's right. Okay, so at least I made a start on that. Okay, and so that's with that one. Let me put that back, because otherwise I'll get myself in a flap over it otherwise. Right, so moving on. It's time to show you my completed item. I almost want you to close your eyes. The elephant is finished. And overall, I'm pleased with it. I've done really well with it in the end, and although I said that a couple of weeks ago that I was struggling to find the yarn that was very similar to it, there is a slight definite difference, as you can see in the light from there to there. The ears are in the new one, and then there was this little bit, and then I carried on with the old bit just to try and use it up and trying to amalgamate it. But to me it just looks like dry and wet mud, and I'm really quite pleased with it. I'm not worried about it at all. It stands up, and it's just a bit bulky. I just don't know what I can do with it. And I want to show you the authentic elephant's eyes. I put a lot of time research into elephant's eyes and try and find the ones that were the closest match, and so I went searching on Etsy, and they've come up trumps. I love the mouth. It's on a wire frame inside, and there is wire in his tail, but because it's all joined, the wire slips back. It's just got a little bit to here, just so that it's poking out, I suppose, and it's not right down. But I really love it, and he will be going to school on Thursday, so he's going to live with me until Thursday, which I'm really pleased about, and I'm glad to say that I've managed to complete him. So I won't need to do a separate video on him now, but for the end of them, because by the end of the month obviously he won't be here for my roundup video, but this will be the one that I can tag on the end for anyone else that doesn't get to see him. But yeah, I'm really pleased, and I started him in August, and to begin with, let me have a look, because I've still got the ball bands here somewhere. To begin with, the yarn that I used was by Trim, and by all accounts it was a B&M yarn. which I bought from Vinted, which because I assumed that it was going to be enough because I went by the meterage on here, I just didn't take into account that that was Aran and the pattern was actually made by sorry about my throat. The pattern was actually made by using a fingering weight yarn. So of course 600 meters in that wouldn't equate to 600 meters in Aran. So I just had a blonde moment and just didn't really think about that and didn't take it into account. So obviously I will now. From now on I will always make sure that it's the meterage and not anything else, and I will make sure that it is the same type of yarn and not just the meterage that I'm taking into account. And then for the other little bit, I used Yarn Smiths Create Aran and in the colourway Brown Bear, and it was literally almost there, wasn't it? I don't think I could have paired it up any differently, any more closely, and I was just really pleased that it worked out well in the end. And it stands up on all three legs, and the tusk, the trunk curls round, but if it was to be moved because it is on wire, then it's still, the tusks just keep it level as well. But it will, if I moved it all out of the way and moved it upwards, then it does actually still manage to stand on three legs by itself, which was the aim of it, considering he had one bent leg. And so yes, this is what I've spent most of my week on, which is why I've hardly done anything else in comparison, but I needed to get it done as soon as I could, and so this is what I spent most of my week on, which is why I forgot to do my Free Pattern Friday video for my pattern searches. I was doing little bits of pattern searches, but I wasn't there solidly searching like I normally do and making sure that I had it all at once. And then of course I forgot to do the video, so he is the reason. We'll blame him. But yeah, I'm really pleased, and so I'm glad that that's one thing I can tick off my list. And so he will live up here for now. Whilst he's waiting to go to his new home. Right, what else have I got to show you? Moving on to, let me just tick it off a moment. Done the honeycomb hive, I've finished the elephant, done the Starcraft rabbit, talked about the tank top. So now I'm going to show you my donut buddy. Sally over at Nanny Moon's Crochet is doing a donut cowl, and she draws out a ball from her handmade wonderful bag every week so then we can do one each week to contribute. So she'll this week she drew out the zebra, and then by later on today you'll all know what the new one is if you go over to our channel and watch her episode, because that's when she draws it. And so this week I have done the zebra, but I just want to show you in the book what's gone on there then. I'm good to go. Right, this is what the one in the book looks like, and I have done mine as a baby because I didn't want to restart a brand new ball of black yarn. So I have used the Knitcraft Everyday DK in brown, and I've got this much left. I keep, it's not just all, this wasn't a a brand new ball, it was just one that I'd started ages and ages ago, but that is one that I've got, so I can show you what it is. And the colourway, like I say, is brown, but the shade is HED09, and that is, I think it's only £1 at Hobbycraft, and that is their own yarn. And I researched it and found that baby zebras are brown and white when they're born, and then they get their blacker stripes when they're older. So I was lucky because that one I didn't, and it's almost black really. It is very, very dark brown. Hang on, my glasses got caught up. See, it is a darker brown anyway, so that's fine. And here he is. And here's his little, I've got a little bit of hair sticking out down there as well because I've sewn the ear on and it got in the way, but still, that is my zebra to contribute to the donut cowl this week. And I used a brown in Stylecraft yarn for the actual donut, and it was all right actually. I did the sorry about that. I did the donut before all of the bits and pieces, so that I had a donut waiting to use. So I was quite lucky that I'd already done that one, and then I could just do the icing. But it just so happened that I was able to use brown for all the bits and pieces so that it matched. I did always say that I was only going to use the natural colours of donuts rather than whatever the pattern was, because there was one in the book, I think it was the hippo, that was a lilac coloured donut and then icing. Well, I always use a natural one, and then it doesn't matter what colour icing, because icing can be any colour, and that's the way I like it. So I chose a chocolate donut, and then I could put the zebra icing and things on the top of it. So anyway, that is my hippo for this week, and that's done. Anything else before I get to my squares? No, now I'm going to show you my squares. Now, this is the cowl that I am running, and what I need to do, hang on, is get that up, because I have got the 3D cowl that I'm running on my channel is the 3D granny squares, and I have got a lovely lady called Carmen, who is joining in with me, as well as Sally, because Sally joins in as well, and we decided that we were going to do it together, and I said that I would also do her donut one with her as well. And so I draw out 2 a week from my little pot, because I didn't want to be doing it for 2 years, because there is actually 100 crochet patterns in here. So that's the reason why I draw 2 every week, just because I'd much rather not do it for a long time. And so this week the lovely Carmen, I will show you hers before I show you mine. She sent me hers in the week, and this is her lovely sunflower. Now I need to just find out where the lights are going to be. Let me just pull the light down and see if that helps. Oh, tilt it. There we go. That is her sunflower square, which I really, really love. I love the colours, and I love, oh, you can just see the middle bit there now. Hang on, let me see if I can try and stand up. Maybe that will help. There we go. And I think she's done a really, really good job on that. I love everything about it, the petals and the background. And so I'm really, really pleased that she's actually joining in with us, because we've gone a long time now where it's just been Sally and I, and it's been really nice that someone has actually come forward and joined in. And this one is Carmen's frog. He looks like a cheeky little chap, doesn't he? Again, they have been very challenging, but this week they've not been too bad at all. I've thrown my dummy out the pram lots of times. Oh, hang on. Lots of times this week, and like I say, it has been very stressful, and I've worried that I haven't been able to get lots of stuff done. But thank you for that, Carmen, and I'm so pleased that you managed to be able to join in with us. Now also, she sent me last week's ones as well, which I didn't manage to show because she sent it after the fact of me doing my video. So this one was the spider from last week. And then also she had done the chicken from last week as well. And I love doing the chicken, and that was a really, really good square. So I'm really pleased, like I say, that she's joining in with us. So thank you very much for that, Carmen, when you're watching. That was really, really good that you managed to get it in time. And I did email her and say if she can get it back to me by Saturday morning, that would be fine, because I do tend to do my videos Saturday or Sunday, depending on how far I've got with it. So that was really good. And so now it's time for me to show you my own. Now, I haven't put a smile on it, and I only realised that whilst I was looking at Carmen's. So my frog hasn't got any facial expression at all, but I managed to do it, and I was glad to see the back of it, only purely because it was fiddly having to sew all the bits on, and I was getting quite frustrated with it because it was taking me a while and I didn't like it. But there is my frog. I did love doing the feet though. I thought that was really, really clever. I really loved doing the feet. But at least we were daunting. We were talking about each square, Sally and I were talking about them and thinking, oh God, I hope it's not the frog, I hope it's not the frog. For a few weeks we were saying that, and just mainly because it looked so chunky to do. But when it came to doing the legs, it actually wasn't that bad. And I was quite impressed. The trouble it was for the bigger ones, it took me about 4 attempts, because one was working out really big and then the other one would work out really small. So then I took the smallest one and then did another one, but that one worked out even smaller. It was doing my head in. So not really very good for a menopausal woman. But these things are sent to try us. And I do enjoy it still. It's just really frustrating when things aren't going right. So that was my frog, and this is my little sunflower. Now I will need to do another one around the edge if I'm going to do anything with them. At the moment I don't have any plans for it. I know that Sally over on hers is making cushions with hers, but I just don't know what to do with mine yet. I might well donate them to someone who wants to do things with them. I'm not really sure, but there is my sunflower one, and for the middle I use the Knitcraft Everyday DK, and for the green for the frog one I used, what did I use, can I tell? I used Stylecraft for that. The green is, oh, I think the green might be Stylecraft as well by the look of it, and the white was the Hobbycraft Women's Institute one, and the black for the eyes was just a little tiny bit of Happy Cotton, and the yellow was a Stylecraft one, and the cream around the edge was just a random one without a ball, so I wouldn't tell you what that was because I had bought a big bin liner full a few years back, and it didn't, I don't know, it was just random ball of something. It's quite thick and quite rough, but it worked for what I needed it for anyway, and so that is what I did. And so now it's going to be time to draw some more. Let's see the nightmare that is waiting for us this week, I say with a smile on my face. Ooh. Okay, so this week we have got the coffee mug. And how impressed Sally and I were actually talking about this coffee mug and how wonderful it would be to do it and whether it would come out this week. So how impressive was that, trying to just literally get it this week, even though we've been speaking about it this week. Anyway, it's the coffee mug on page 11. And then we'll go again. Ooh, come on, come on. And then we'll have the waffle on page 18. So that is the coffee mug and the waffle. I will show you now. The coffee mug on page 11. Ooh. That did make me smile. Let me just get my tags, and then I will be able to show you it. Okay, so this is the coffee mug, and then we have the waffle on page 18. Okay, and that is the waffle on page 18, and that brings me to the end. I do have to say that I have been working on my 1970s cowl from the Crochet Through the Decades cowl that I'm doing with Litza over at Coco's Crochet, but of course that is top secret for a moment, and I am not going to show you until the end, just mainly because otherwise it's just going to be repeated showing you every single week, and really there's not much to show until the end on this one. So I will definitely show you when it's ready, I promise. And of course this is the last week of school for us. We've got 5 school days left, which I'm so relieved about, because at least I might be able to get some rest time in, and then just have some chill time as well. And then of course, like I say, I've got a week off then, and so I would have to have it done all by the end, because I need to make sure that it's sent off by the end of October. And then of course that brings me then into my what I've achieved in October and what I want to achieve in November video, which I will do very soon, because it will soon be upon us, won't it? And I've got lots of things that I've been working on towards that, and then I'll have to literally have a think about what I want to achieve in November then. And so there's lots up and coming. I do keep barking on about the fact that there is a Wednesday video going to be coming, but I'm still not sure when to start that, because I've got a lot on my plate at the moment. So I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer. I have prepared for it, like I say, and it is sat underneath my desk over there, waiting, and then I can show you more about it. The only other thing that I want to say before I do go is that I noticed that Jenny over at In My Spare Time is doing free patterns now, and as much as it's nice for everyone to do the same sort of thing, I feel like I have been doing my Free Pattern Friday for quite some time, and maybe I need to take a step back from it. I'm very undecided about this, but obviously if other people are doing the same thing, it's going to be repeated all the time, isn't it? You know, and I don't really I don't want to step on her toes for things that she's done or going to be doing on her channel, and so I'm a bit kind of don't know whether just to leave it for a few weeks or do something different on a Friday instead, because I have been doing that now for some months, and so I don't really know what to do. I was a bit gutted, to be fair, but I suppose it's one of those things, isn't it? And I suppose the people that want to watch me for me, and everything that I do, and that's fine, and then they'll go over and watch hers. I'm just worried that I'm going to be doing patterns that she's showing, and I'm just a bit kind of, well, I don't know now, so it makes me feel a bit weird about it. So I'm not really sure going forward what I'm going to do, but I'll give it some thought, and then I'll update you as and when. So I'm going to stop rabbiting now, because it has been nearly an hour, and so I'm going to go, and I will see you again on Free Pattern Friday. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.